Let's talk about WPP Scangroup.
It's now the world's biggest advertising and marketing group is facing its own PR disaster after it emerged that the chief executive and founder, Sir Martin Sorrell, is being investigated by the board.
Mark Reed has been awarded the CEO role for WPP after the departure of Martin Sorrell earlier in 2018.
WPP, we were a company founded 35 years ago. And, Martin Sorrell built us into, really an amazing business with 100,000 people around the world, largely by acquisition. We acquired iconic brands.
Right, so the board of directors of WPP Scangroup PLC has appointed Ms. Patricia Idau as its chief executive officer.
WPP Scangroup is a holding company for a number of agencies. It started as one agency, started doing a number of mergers and acquisition, and then why I think my predecessor and the founder of the business chose to go for a listing is that was one way you can raise funds. The second thing was to figure out whether you can attract a global network agency.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
It's a very nice company. It's very lucrative. You want to actually get involved. Somebody like me actually wants to get involved with them, try to understand some of the offerings they have and where it is that I can step in. But before we even go there are three main rules that you have to consider as you're watching this. Number one, before you invest in any company in the stock exchange, it's very important to have 6 months worth of savings set aside. Number two is you need to think long term, 5 to 10 years of holding a stock. So you need proper research as you're actually investing in one. And finally, number three, and the most important, before you actually proceed to watch the rest of the video, you cannot keep on watching without liking and subscribing, because I continuously strive to offer you the best information and the best research when it comes to understanding the financials of the company. So a like and subscribe would mean a lot to this channel. Here's a quick look of what we expect from looking at WPP. These are the agencies that it works with. It's the biggest global agency that currently has more than 300 clients out of the Fortune 500 S&P clients in the US, which is its biggest market. That's where it's getting most of its revenues. And these are some of the agencies that it has: VML, Ogilvy, Hawkworth, Hill & Knowlton, among many other agencies that it actually partners with. Scangroup, or WPP Scangroup in Kenya and Eastern Central Africa, is one of the agencies it's actually partnering with. So just as I said, more than 300 clients in the Fortune 500 clients, so it's fairly big. Some of its revenue figures are also presented there, and you can see here, for example, revenue continued revenue growth in 2023, 14.8 billion pounds revenue. That is slightly increased from 14.4 billion in 2022, and the rest it's looking fairly good. However, when you take a step and dive in just a little bit more, you realize there's something that's not working out as you would like it to. And as this is for the big global parent company, you can actually see in 2023 there was a huge dip in profit. Actually, there was a negative profit or a loss in 2023 as compared to 2022 and 2021, and that right there is a very bad sign. And we'll be seeing more and more of these signals as we go on. At the end of the video, we'll be able to see how we can actually rank it from an S tier all the way to a D tier. Where does WPP Scangroup specifically belong to? And without further ado, let's dive into more of WPP. As you'll be able to see right here, these are the locations where WPP is located. Specifically, if you're to zoom in Africa, it has about 5,000 people that are working, and revenue is about 0.4 billion. This is not very big compared to the biggest market in US or North America with 23,000 people and 5.5 billion in revenue. That's the biggest market it has, followed by Western continental Europe. But now specifically for Africa, that's where we have our CEO for WPP Scangroup.
because I've been on the
Wow.
Absa Bank board for the last 9 years.
You are
Vivo, I joined now, Brand Kenya. I was on
yes,
Kenya
yes.
Tourism Board. I was on an Enablist, which is another impact.
Yeah.
I was on Trademark East Africa. I'm on Jumbojet. I'm a Vodafone trustee on the Vodafone Foundation in the UK. And then M-Pesa Foundation. Yeah.
Patricia Ithau, the CEO of WPP Scangroup, that is responsible or has the biggest share in East and Central Africa when it comes to ad agencies and marketing. So is she able to actually turn around this situation? Is she contributing actively and positively towards this? And at the end of the day, I'll be looking at the performance specifically for WPP Scangroup and consider these 6 metrics so that we can try to understand, are there actually any positives or that we can follow in all of this. So number 1 is we'll look at the margin of safety. Margin of safety is saying what is the actual price of WPP in the stock market and what do we believe the actual valuation is based on our valuation methods to get its intrinsic value. In the market, it's currently going for 2.86 shillings, and the intrinsic value, the estimate that we have from the book value, the value of the assets, is currently coming to 12.2 shillings, and that means there is a positive margin of safety, very good. We believe that there is a capacity for it to keep on increasing in its share price, and therefore we give it a 9 out of 10 and a happy Patricia Ithau. Number 2 is the dividend yield. This one, there wasn't much to work with because the last dividend paid was in 2019. 2020 paid a special dividend, but we really don't consider it as much. So because of that dividend yield, we give it just a plain 1 out of 10 points. And this is Patricia Ithau trying to explain why exactly that is the case. For the price to book ratio, it tells us what if the stock price is fair compared to its assets. And for WPP Scangroup, the price to book ratio is 0.23. This shows that the stock is undervalued. That's why I gave it a high points of 9 out of 10 and a happy Patricia Ithau. Price to earnings, we have, it shows you how much you're paying for every shilling that WPP Scangroup earns. At 9.23, you are getting incredible value compared to most companies where you'd pay about 15 to 20 shillings. Therefore, for this, I would give it 7 out of 10. It's good, but really not so good. So, yeah, we're still a happy Patricia Ithau. Dividend history, as I've said, the last dividend was paid in 2019. A special dividend was paid in 2020 because of a sale of one of its operations. So, it didn't do very well in dividend history. That's a red flag and a bad signal. So I also gave it, because before 2019 they were still paying consistent dividends, I gave it a 3 out of 10 because, well, it's not bad. It's bad right now, but before it wasn't so bad, so I didn't give it 1, I gave it a 3 because of that. And finally, financial stability. We are trying to understand, is it financially stable? Debt and equity. Is the equity able to repay the debt that it actually has and it currently owns? And we can see currently that ratio is at 0.52, which is very positive. I give it an 8 out of 10 and another happy Patricia Ithau. And out of all that, we are able to see the total score comes to 37 out of 60 points. And because of that, we'll be able to give this a rating of B. So S tier more than 50, A tier more than 40, and B tier more than 30. That's where Scangroup or WPP Scangroup lies, and that's the rating that we're actually going to give it finally. So thank you for watching, thank you for sticking to the end, seeing the value that I have given to it. I would like to see your comments down below. Just tell me what you agree, what you don't agree with, and also let me know which other company would you like me to review in the near future. And with that said, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with a colleague, and I'll see you next time.